How's it going, Mathaholics? I am glad you all stopped by to watch a math video today. Once we get to 150 subscribers, we're going to give away 3 free Cane's gift cards. So if you want to have a chance to win some free chicken, just hit that subscribe button and hopefully you get selected. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the law of cosines. And the law of cosines is not a difficult thing. However, it is a little bit of practice until it gets mastered. But that's kind of how everything is. So that being said, today I'm going to focus on one specific type of law of cosines, which is finding a side length. And just to give you a little bit of an introduction or a glimpse into the future, with law of cosines, you're going to have to end up finding missing angles, missing sides, and you're going to have to find a whole bunch of missing parts of a triangle. But just because I feel like that'll be a lot of information for just one video, I'm going to focus this video solely on finding the side lengths, and then we'll do solving for the entire triangle in another video, and so on. But for today, let's just focus on finding the side length. So as you can see where I highlighted, it says to find RT. So we'll look at RT, and then we'll say, oh, right here, we already found it. Unfortunately, we can't just do that, but I will say something that we can do with this. And what I like to do is whenever I see a side length like this, I just like to rewrite it. And in a second, I'll show you why I think it's easier to do that. So in case you don't remember, wherever you see a letter, right across from it is going to be that same letter and its opposite form. So right here is a capital T, then right across from it is going to be lowercase t. Here we see a capital R, this is lowercase r. Here we see a capital S, now this is a lowercase s. And that's a sad looking S, so I'm going to rewrite it. There we go. Not like that was too much better, but it's okay. Alright, so we have rewritten these sides a little bit, if you want to call it a rewrite or just another way of labeling them. Now we look over here, and you might see a bunch of stuff that's intimidating. But don't let this intimidate you. All you need to do is memorize one of these. And I guarantee you, once you memorize one of these, all 3 of these will be very easy, because let's look at the common pattern in these. And you might be thinking, why are you bothering showing me this formula so many times? I guarantee you it'll be a lot easier to understand once you grasp this concept. So here we see an A, and at the end we see an A. Here's a B, here's a B. Here's a C, here's a C. So what does that mean? That means as long as you memorize one of these, and then you have the letter you have in the front also at the end, you're going to be getting the problem right. So for example, here we have an A at the start and an A at the end. In the middle, we're going to have a B and a C, as you can see. And then here we have a B in the front, a B in the back. In the middle, we're going to have an A and a C. And then here we have a C in the front, C at the end. In the middle, we're going to have an A and a B. And then the rest of the formula is just the same in relation to one another. So right here we see B and C, A and C, A and B. Remember, if you have an A in the front and an A in the back, in the middle you're going to have a B and a C. So what 2 letters are you going to have right here? B and a C. A and C, A and C, A and B, A and B. It might be a little confusing at first, like why are you telling me all these letters? But I guarantee you, just memorize one of these 3, and then the rest will be the same. So just understand that, and I'm sorry if that was too much of an explanation, but if it wasn't, then I hope it helped out. So now let's get to actually solving this problem. Now that we have understood the law of cosines, the principles of law of cosines, we're going to find RT. Actually, I said we're not doing that. We're doing S. So, S. Now, we can just pick one of these because, like I said, we can just pick one. And that's all we're going to do. So, S, what does formula say? Squared equals B squared plus C squared. We're going to pick a side length. We're going to name this B for the time being if you want. That's going to be 15 squared plus 23 squared minus 2, B is 15, C is 23. And I'm calling them B and C because that's what's in the formula, but technically it's S, R, and T. It doesn't matter what you label these things. As long as you do the proper steps, you can label it potatoes, apples, whatever you want. And then times cosine of A. Now, can I go on my calculator and type cosine of A? Well, technically I can. However, it's not going to give me the numerical value that we're looking for. So what do I need to do? Capital A. What is capital A? So we look on our triangle and we say, okay, there's no such thing as an A on here. But remember, what was I telling you a couple minutes ago? Whatever letter's in the front, that's the same letter that we have at the end. So what letter do we have here in the front, or what letter are we solving for? We're solving for S. So if we're solving for S, that means that at the very end, right over here, we're going to also need to have an S. So what is the S that we know? It's 27. So we're just going to put a 27 there. And now we're good to go. So what do we do here? Now we just simply put this into the calculator. Let's go ahead and do that. And I do these problems at the same time you're doing them. I don't necessarily try them out before I do them on screen. So I do actually have to put it in the calculator. I don't just have the notes next to me or something. Okay, so we do that and we get S squared. Why am I getting so many emails right now? Equals 139.20. Well, it's 0.205, so I'm going to round this to a 21. Okay, and now what do we do about this S squared? All we have to do is take the square root. And we get, let me push that down, 11.798. Okay, and then you can round that however your teacher wants you to round. I'm just going to leave it like that. And there we go. That is our missing side length. Like I said, this is just an introduction to law of cosines, but this video is already kind of long enough. I would hate to make a 30-minute video just to have you lose your focus and not really grasp the concept. So definitely be expecting a video on more law of cosine topics within a couple hours. That being said, if you have any questions, please leave them down below or send me an email, send me a message on the Mathaholics Instagram. All of the information for contact is in the description. I'll be glad to answer any questions that you may have. And look forward to watching those other cosine videos so you can learn how to do other problems like these. Thank you, and I hope you had a great time trying to learn this math.